All right, Bobby, hear me out. What if I only work out every 4 to 7 days, but I work out really hard on those days I work out?
Dude, do you chat GPT Mike Mentzer? Yeah, okay. I gotta listen. So my goal in the fitness industry is to never badmouth anybody, right?
Right.
Like realistically, the guy from B Shreds, he can get it all day because he's fraudulent. But Mike Mentzer, the dude actually accomplished a lot of stuff. He was a world-class bodybuilder. He had a really impressive physique. I think he had some great training ideas. And the reason I bring up Mike Mentzer in ChatGPT and Google AI and all that stuff is because Mike Mentzer started this like a high-density training protocol, I think is what he called it. And it started off that you'd only train 3 days a week and you needed 48 hours between each session to fully recover from that session. And then it evolved, to the best of my understanding, you would only work out every 4 to 7 days. So for a guy like Mike Mentzer, who at one point in his life had presumably trained every day for hours, who had built up over decades thousands of hours of training experience, I can understand that sitting on that base at 40, 45, 43, 50, like whenever he transitioned into 3 or 2 days a week, I could understand how that could be effective or could seem effective. Again, sitting on that base. To take it to a different realm, Michael Phelps right now is a better swimmer than you will ever be in your life, no matter how much you train, Joe. Like you cannot catch. So he might come out and say, oh yeah, all I got to do is swim 3 times a week and I can maintain. Well, yes, but that's not, you're discounting like if you look at the pyramid, right? You're discounting the entire foundation upon which that sits.
Yeah. Like in order to even come close, like number one, I'd need an entirely different physical build. I mean, he's just built like if you asked God to build a swimmer, he would build Michael Phelps' physique, right?
Yep.
And then number two, I would have to time travel. I have to go back in time and I got to start training around the time he did. And I got to put in the number of reps that he did and the number of times that he did. And then I can get to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I only need a couple days a week to maintain.
Yeah, but people forget he did 1,300 hours a year for 10 years straight. Like we're talking 9 to 3 in a pool. So back to the Mike Mentzer thing. I'm not saying Mike Mentzer's philosophy is fraudulent. I'm not saying it doesn't work at all. Maybe it could work for me because I have I've trained 2 to 3 times a day for how many ever years. Maybe it would do me good to focus more on recovery and maybe I could maintain what I have. But what I'm not going to do is stand up here looking like this and then say, oh yeah, all you have to do is train twice a week.
Yeah, all you have to do, right? The person watching.
You're discounting that. And I think the real problem here isn't Mike Mentzer or his philosophy. I think it's the way people interpret it. Because they are desperate to look for that thing that allows them to only train twice a week or 3 times a week.
That's an interesting point. Because like I always go to like a pick your favorite NFL running back. I don't care who it is. And you're like, man, I think that dude is just the most athletic, the fastest, the strongest. And like, what is his training protocol? And it's like, you know, this dude goes into the gym and he does all these plyometrics and he's back squatting 600 pounds and he's doing these sprints. And you're like, oh, so all I have to do is back squat, sprints, and do some plyometrics. But what you forget is you can't back squat 600 pounds. Your best back squat is 205.
Yep.
So before you can even start to train the way this guy trains, you've got to spend the time getting your back squat up to more respectable numbers.
And all the accessories it took to get it there.
Absolutely.
Right? And not only that, Joe, the big obvious missing piece is you're just looking at one portion of the guy's program. You forget that every day in practice, he's running. He's sprinting. He's doing lateral drills. So now you're trying to take like a small little part of it. And by the way, that can be related to diet, PED use, supplementation. So let's look at me. I've never used a PED, never used TRT, never used Ozempic, never used a banned substance. So we're on the same playing field there. But if you're comparing to me at home or Joe, I have an ice bath. I actually have 2 ice baths in the garage. I have a sauna. I have Normatec recovery boots.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't work a 9 to 5 in an office. And my kids are in school all day.
Yeah.
You and I, you're the viewer, are playing with a very different bank account when it comes to the finances of fitness. Because by the time you by the time you've done number crunching, computer programming, whatever you do from 9 to 5, I've worked out twice and had a sauna. You can't do my program. You can't. I know it sounds great, but that might not fit in your life. I've got a client right now, Joe, going through this. He's got a newborn.
Mm-hmm.
His training program has completely changed because he can't do what he was doing a year ago when he didn't have the newborn. Same
But my guess, hold on, let me make a guess. He's working out less frequently, but with higher intensity.
Actually less frequently and lower intensity because he's exhausted because the baby doesn't sleep.
Sure, yeah.
We're just like in a period of like trying to hang on. But
get what you can when you can.
Yeah. So context matters. So this is why I think the problem is the person, because the person that gravitates towards that Mentzer philosophy is they're discounting the hard work Mike did for decades before he came out with this. They're discounting how hard Mike actually worked during his session. Like when he does a set to failure, he does a real set to failure.
Let's talk about what that takes. Because if you haven't worked out in 10 or 15 years and you go to the gym and you grab a pair of dumbbells and you're doing dumbbell bench press and you're going to failure, it is not the same thing that Mike Mentzer is doing when he's going to failure.
Correct.
Like he's got reps upon reps upon reps, years of experience that he knows the difference between actual failure and like, oh, I'm just tired, or, oh, this is just uncomfortable. Like the mental tools that he's built over the years to really maintain that mind-muscle connection is very different than what a novice level lifter is.
And not only to mention the output he can put out in a 50-minute session versus the output you can put out. Now, here's another example. I think you can maintain a 5-minute mile running pace on just 5 minutes a day if you spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours to work your way up to a 5-minute mile in the first place. If you have a 5-minute mile, you can go out, run a 5-minute mile today, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and conceivably you could maintain that. Mm-hmm. But you can't do that at home because you can only do a 12-minute mile, a 13-minute mile. And to get to that 5-minute mile, you have to spend weeks running 70 miles a week. You have to put in the time. You have to put the effort. It just doesn't magically materialize. So that's like the point of the podcast is you're always looking for like these new things to give us the edge, this new secret, this new hack. This is also relatable, Joe, to TRT, Ozempic, any supplement you have. Like there's a lot of guys out there that think, I'm just going to hop on TRT and all of a sudden I'm going to wake up looking like Alan Richardson and Jack Reacher. I saw, and credit to Alan, he talked to Men's Health about he's on TRT. He couldn't do the stunts without it. He couldn't do the job without it. He couldn't act without it. Like it's helped him. So like big credit, Alan, if you're watching, to you for just being honest and transparent. Respect earned 100%. And we'll never fault a person like that for being on TRT when it's a genuine thing that you need to do your job to live your life to whatever, or you had a medical issue that you had low testosterone. But my point is, people think they're just going to take TRT and I'm going to wake up looking like Alan Richardson.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, right? Take TRT today, and in the morning you wake up with 6-pack abs and can do backflips.
Right? Like, dude, like Alan Richardson has lifted more weights last week than you've lifted in your life. Like you're totally discounting the dude's effort in the gym, the dude's effort toward diet, the dude's effort toward sleeping. You just think this is this one missing piece of the puzzle. And if you get that, you're all of a sudden going to be great. And it's all the same mentality of less is more. Yeah. I don't want to work for it. So what's the hack? What's the gimmick? What's the secret? What's the little thing that's going to get me. Joe, by the way, it works like this in the hobby space. What's that one? You have a Dungeons and Dragons channel, and I know that sounds nothing like fitness, but Joe, what's that one hack that I can do to make my game night awesome? You're like, like it's not a hack. It's a you got to put effort into it. You got to plan. You got to make props. You got to have decorations. You got to have you
got to do the work. You got to do the work, and you got to earn the result. You know what it reminds me of, Bobby? And this should make a lot of sense. It's like the martial arts. It's the difference between going to a black belt factory and earning a black belt, right?
Yep.
You see somebody who is an amazing athlete, breaking the bricks, smashing the boards, an incredible fighter, and you find out they have a black belt. So you want a black belt too. But you don't want the smoke that guy had to go through to get that black belt. So you just go to an easy little taekwondo school and you pay the $500 fee to get into the black belt club. And at the end of the year, you pay a $1,100 surcharge, and the instructor at the school gives you a belt that is black in color.
That's what everybody wants.
Equal to the guy who spent 10 years earning that belt? Like, absolutely not. Not even close.
That's what everybody wants, Joe. So
you want to be a Mike Mentzer level of weightlifter, but you don't want to put the work in that he put in, right? So you got to try to find shortcuts. You got to try to shorten that down into something that you can swallow, because you couldn't possibly imagine what it would take to put that amount of work in.
Can't I just skip over like the 30 years of work he put in and just go to the end, working out twice a week to maintain?
Or, to people's credit, they're older now. If you're in your 40s, you can't go back into your 20s and start again. Because again, time travel isn't a real thing. So maybe the trick is you have to accept that that's not the path for you. And you should have started 20 years ago. That would have been the best time for you to start.
Yeah.
The second best time for you to start is right now, today. But
then
you got to stay consistent for the next year, 2 years, and get out of that beginner weightlifter phase, get out of the novice weightlifter phase, and become an advanced weightlifter. Then you can try some of those advanced weightlifting programs.
Well, why do I have to spend that much time? Can't I just?
Because that's what it takes.
And I just
remember, fitness happens.
Right?
Fitness happens at the rate that cells divide. Muscle cells don't just sprout out because you did a bench press. It takes months. But it's an evolution.
This has gone down an interesting road for me, Joe, because this is what people want, and it's what they want. And like, it's actually something that's on my mind right now. I was being that guy with fantasy football.
Yeah,
I have a draft. I play in a league with a bunch of guys. It's a fairly competitive league, and I'm starting to Google like, what's that one player I can draft to win the season? It's like, well, no. You have like 15 players on your roster or whatever, and it depends who's a quarterback. And it's actually like, we have a friend JP that does this for a living, right? Like his fantasy.
I was just going to say you should talk to him. He'll hook you up.
Right? But he can't just. The funny thing is, he can't just recommend that one player that's gonna do everything. It's like there's a lot of nuance here. You know what I mean? Like for example, Justin Jefferson the Monday night watching the game or whatever. It's like, he should be the number one fantasy pick based on like receptions last year, but he's got a rookie quarterback now. So is that a good pick? Have you looked at the schedule? Have you looked at that? And it gets to be quite complex. But no, I just want that one thing that's going to make me win. And then what's that one card that's going to make my Magic Gathering deck better? Cool. There's 99 other cards in a deck. Like I can't just give you one. And then what's that one food? Listen, I know I have 535 adult beverages a year. That's the average in American drinks. I actually looked this up last night. And I know I drink a gallon of soda a week. That's also an average for Americans. And I know I eat fast food 2.7 times a week. These are all layered on top of each other, Joe. When's the last time you had 10 adult beverages, a gallon of soda, and ate at Culver's 3 times in the same week?
Oh God, I don't even know that I could do that.
No, but when's the last time you did that? 2001 when you were at the University of Iowa. Like,
there's no way I could have afforded all that. It was ramen noodles, noodles and Natty Light. Yeah,
well, that's how people live. But then they're like, "Will creatine work for me?" No, the guys like, well, can't I just work out less? No, dude. Well,
that's what gives it. It's like you smoke. You chew, you drink like a fish, and you think that taking fish oil is going to help with your heart.
What's that? That's
you got bigger fish
right?
to fry.
I don't want to work anymore. I'm unemployed. I don't want to beef up my resume. I don't want to side hustle. I don't want to, what's the crypto coin that's going to make me rich? Okay, listen, like I get it, but like it just doesn't work that way. So for the Mike Mentzer fans out there, hear me out to end this podcast. If a guy like me, and I'll put myself in Mike's shoes, I've worked out for 26 years. Sorry, not 26 years. He's 32 years. I started when I was 15. I'm 47 years old. And I've worked out really hard. I could probably take a couple of years, Joe, where I work out just twice a week or 3 times a week really hard, and there wouldn't be that much of a change in my body. Mentally, it would be tough, but that's sitting on 32 years of experience.
Yeah.
That's not you. That's not going to happen. I can't sell you that workout program, not unless you're willing to spend a lot of time doing the basics, doing the work to get to that level. So I know
stable pyramid has a wide base.
I know you love to make extra stuff. You've got to put time in. There's no way to cheat it. There's no way to get around it. I don't care who's telling you that you only need to show up 2 or 3 times a week. You're going to need to do more. And you might need to do double what the normal person does because you have 10 years of inactivity to make up for. Like you just went.
You're in a hole.
You're in a hole. So whoever you are, wherever you are, the secret you're looking for is honestly the harder path. If it's a shortcut, do the opposite. If it's a hack, do the opposite. If it's a gimmick, do the opposite. 6-minute abs won't cut it for you. You might need 60-minute abs. Add a 0 to everything. Like just do more. As always, real talk for people who want to be really fit. Maximus Podcast. Support us. Leave a comment. Like. Turn your notifications on. What do the kids say? Smash that like button. Is that the thing you get people to like? Give us
ring
thumbs
that
on.
Bell.
All right, ring that bell. Share it with your friends. Do whatever you got to do. That's how you can support the show. We didn't inundate you with ads. We didn't harass you. We didn't do any of that nonsense. All you have to do is support the show. Until next time.